Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are going to be introducing language lesson 140. We are going to begin with an oral language exercise, and it's something that we're going to be practicing each morning. Basically, I am going to read a sentence, and you are going to repeat the sentence after me. And it's just for you to be able to understand, in this particular case, number agreement with the pronoun and its antecedent. So number 1, everyone take out his pencil. Number 2, neither one would admit his mistake. Number 3, each man gave what he could. Number 4, everyone declared that he was not guilty. Number 5, each one went to his own home. Number 6, everyone declared himself in favor of the bill. Number 7, swallows are very skillful in building their nests. Number 8, everybody must speak for himself. Number 9, every person should learn to control his temper. And finally, number 10, has everyone received his prize? Very good. Now, as I said earlier, this is just a daily practice to get you in the habit of hearing proper grammar versus sometimes what we're used to hearing in our casual, everyday social interactions. Let's go ahead and review our preposition song together. Aboard, about, above, across, after, against, along, among, around, at. Those are the first set. Before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, by, down, during, except, for and from, in, inside, into, like, near, of, off, on, over, past, and since, through and throughout, to, toward, under, underneath, until, up, upon, with, within, without. Now I am finished. So at this point, you have learned 6 parts of speech, including a verb, which we know is an action word, a noun, which is a person, place, thing, or idea, pronoun, which takes the place of a noun, an adjective, which describes a noun or pronoun, adverb, which describes a verb, adjective, or another adverb, and a preposition, which shows the relationship of a noun or pronoun to another word in the sentence. Today we are going to be introducing the 7th part of speech, which is a conjunction, and the final one, an interjection. So we'll hear common things throughout conversations that we join together naturally in our culture. For instance, we will associate macaroni and cheese. We'll also associate peanut butter and jelly when we think of the sandwich during lunchtime. There is a particular conjunction that I've used in those 2 examples, and that conjunction is and. So what a conjunction does is it joins either words or groups of words together. So I want to go over the most common conjunctions with you at this time. The most common conjunctions are and, but, or, nor, or, and yet. Let's go ahead and say those together. And, but, or, nor, or, yet. Very good. So as I said earlier, conjunctions connect words. They also connect groups of words, but they can also connect sentences. Let's look at some examples together. So here we have in our first example, Mrs. Andrews or Mrs. Best will take attendance each school day. You will notice that the conjunction or has already been highlighted, and it is joining 2 proper nouns in this particular case. Mrs. Andrews along with Mrs. Best. let's look at our second example. Jesus prayed in the garden and on the mountaintop. Here we have, if you have already noticed, the conjunction and has been highlighted, and it joined or connected two prepositional phrases in this case. In the garden with on the mountaintop. Very good. Let's look at our third example, which shows us the use of a conjunction connecting two separate thoughts. The students want to return to school, but health officials recommend social distancing. Again, we have a conjunction but in this particular case, combining two different sentences. The first sentence being, the students want to return to school, and then the last sentence being, health officials recommend social distancing. Awesome. So here we are on page 212. We're going to go through some more examples so that you can get comfortable with this particular exercise. But remember, you have the definition to refer to should you ever need a reminder at the very top. And here's some other examples we can quickly go over together. We have Olivia or Seth is the spelling champ. So here we have the conjunction or, again, connecting two proper nouns, Olivia and Seth. The next example, David went up the stairs and into his room. So we have the conjunction and joining the two prepositional phrases, up the stairs and into his room. And finally, I love baseball, but I am not a very good player. Again, the conjunction but combining the two sentences, I love baseball, I am not a very good player. Okay? Okay, so now that you are familiar and hopefully comfortable with identifying conjunctions, we're going to do a couple of examples together. So let's direct our attention to Think A. It says 1, circle the conjunction in these sentences, and 2, underline the words or groups of words that each conjunction connects, just like I did in the previous examples. Now it's your turn. Number 1, praise ye the Lord, for it is good to sing praises unto our God. Who can identify the conjunction in sentence number 1? If you said for, you are absolutely correct. You'll notice that it combined two separate thoughts. Praise ye the Lord, and it is good to sing praises unto our God. Let's look at number 2 together before we go to the next exercise. Number 2, I could have a popsicle or an ice cream sandwich. Have you identified the conjunction in that sentence? If you said or, you are correct as well. Or is combining, in this particular case, a popsicle with an ice cream sandwich. Now let's move. Okay, so for right B, we are simply going to fill in the blank with the best conjunction. Now, just as a quick review, remember there are 6 most common conjunctions, and those are and, but, or, for, nor, and yet. So let's see which one works for number 1. The house did not fall, blank, it was founded on a rock. Can you think to yourself which would be the best conjunction or the most appropriate one to fill in that blank? If you said for, you are absolutely right. Okay, let's look at number 2. He had many relatives, blank, he died without a friend. Think to yourself. He had many relatives, blank, he died without a friend. Yes, but he died without a friend. Very good. So you are going to complete the rest, and I am so confident that you will do well.